Hey there, RC Girl here. Should you be upgrading the power system in your Traxxas TRX-4M? Today, we're taking a look at the TRX-4M brushless power system upgrade, which is a drop-in fit for every TRX-4M model out there. We're going to be installing it in my Bronco. We're gonna do a before and after install comparison to see whether you too should be upgrading the power system in your TRX-4M. I'll also cover the recommended upgrades Traxxas suggests doing in parallel with the brushless power system update. Let's take a look. If you guys are new to the TRX4M platform, really great 1/18 scale microcrawler. I have a full video review that goes into a ton more detail. You may remember though that it started off red. That was my original body. I made some cool topography graphics that are available on my store. And I also mocked up some new graphics. These are the mountain tree line graphics. These are also available in my Etsy shop, so check it out. Let's take a look at what comes in the box. So this is going to be a speed control and a motor system. You get both of those in this little box here. And as we mentioned, this will be a direct fit for any of the TRX4M platforms. You can use this with the Traxxas lights. We're actually going to be installing an additional light bar, so we're going to see how that integrates with this system. This is going to also work with the TQ and the TQI transmitters. And like the stock ESC, you're going to get 3 drive modes with this: Sport, Trail, and Crawl. Here are all the specs if you're interested. And something to mention, this is going to be a sensorless motor. It also features field-oriented control, or FOC, which is going to give you a major advantage with RC crawling. I have seen brushless, sensorless systems in cars like the Furry Tech cars, like the Cayman Pro and the Fury Wagon. This is my first time installing a brushless system in a Traxxas TRX4M though, however, and I think they actually could benefit from a little bit more fine-tuned control. So I'm excited to try this out. Let's take a look inside the box. It's so small. Here we have the ESC and we have the tiny little motor. It feels super smooth and you can see the rotation is on the exterior of the motor can. This is going to be a 3350 kV or kilovolt motor. And essentially higher kV equals a more powerful motor. We have 2 mounting holes here, 1 on each side. It looks like this is our little antenna. Our battery is going to plug in up top here. Our motor plugs into this port here. We have 2 servo ports and 2 ports here for our lights. So hopefully that is enough for the lighting that we're running. It also comes with an instructions manual. We're going to have to read this through, make sure we do it correctly. And then lastly, you get a motor mounting plate. Looks like it's plastic, and some hardware. A more powerful motor is going to put more stress and strain on some of your components. So Traxxas recommends in parallel upgrading to a metal gear set and metal drive shafts. We captured some footage driving this stock. Now we're going to be installing the motor speed control and the suggested upgrades. That'll be the only thing we change. We're going to redrive it and see how it goes. I also have a couple more upgrades we're going to install, but I don't want to change anything too drastically so that we can get a fair comparison. So let's install this now. I wanted to take a second and let you guys know about the event I'm hosting later this month at Mount Baldy in Southern California. In partnership with Reckless RC Crew and powered by Traxxas, I am hosting my first ever crawl event. I am so grateful to be able to combine radio control, amazing trails, and a good cause. So I am helping to rally the RC community this month to raise $1,000 for the Childhood Cancer Foundation. Check out the description box for a link to the Facebook event page for all the details, as well as a link where you can donate to the Childhood Cancer Foundation fundraiser. Huge thank you in advance to the RC community for helping us raise $1,000 this month for the Childhood Cancer Foundation. Can't wait to see you at Mount Baldy. Back to our video. First, we're going to uninstall the stock ESC, so let's unplug everything. Say bye. Say bye to our stock motor.
Okay, see you later, bye-bye.
So it actually looks like the gears in here are already metal. So I might have already done that upgrade. I'll have to go back and watch my video. But yeah, we're done there. That makes it easy. We're gonna reassemble this and then we are ready to program it and get it ready to run. Quick shout out, if you guys like any of my pit setup, like this rotating work stand or my Cow RC pit mats and this amazing pit light, I'll put a link to everything in the description box. Cow RC is offering 10% off their entire website for my subscribers. So grateful. Just use code RCGirl at checkout. All right, that is it for the install. We have our brushless motor speed control. We also installed metal drive shafts here, added a little blue flare, and we already had metal gears in our front and rear diffs. So that means we are ready to go. Let's put a battery in this. The next thing we have to do is bind the transmitter to the ESC. So what we're gonna do with it powered off, we're going to hold down the set button up here on the top and turn on the transmitter. And then we're going to hold the little set button here as we plug in our battery. And it should turn green here. You saw the wheels move. Yay, look how much control that is. That's so cool. Look how slow this is. Pretty neat. We are going to test out the stock setup as is the 180 size 88 turn brush motor that comes stock in all the TRX4Ms. We'll see how it opens up at the top speed, what reverse looks like, do a couple test features, see how they compare. Let's take it away. All right, here we have our top speed. Top speed in reverse. Whee! You can see here that it's pretty zippy. It doesn't feel overpowered, but with comparison to the new brushless power system, we definitely get a lot more punch. You're gonna get higher top end speed, as well as really being able to slow it down. You're going to have a wider range of speed with the new setup, so a lot of control on the low end, but also a lot of punch. It actually gets a little crazy sometimes. For our next comparison, let's test the low end speed and see how slow we can get each motor system to go. Look how crazy this is. It is so slow. So if we waited for this video would be more than an hour long, but I think you get the point. The new brushless system can really slow things down. This is really the benefit of this system for RC crawling. You are going to get a lot of slow speed precision control on the low end, which is really nice for crawlers. For our next comparison, I have a few indoor crawler park features from Toys WD. This bridge is a good test of how steep something can climb as well as how controlled it can descend. Clearly, there is a lot more precision control with the brushless system. What do you think? Let's talk about FOC for a second. What exactly is it? Without going into the complex math and physics, which are also over my head, FOC, or field-oriented control, allows electric motors to operate really smoothly over the full speed range. So the motor will not stall out and it keeps the same speed even when encountering a feature. With the stock setup in the same scenario, you have to be continually adjusting your throttle control, which results in jumpy, twitchy movements. So a huge benefit to having an FOC motor in your RC. I hope that gives you guys a sense of the difference between the stock brush power system and the new brushless outrunner FOC system. I feel like we have a clear winner as far as performance. There is, however, one thing I'm a bit concerned about. We'll talk about that in a second. Make sure to stick around to the end. Now let's install the rest of my upgrades. I have Traxxas's light bar set, which is compatible with both the Defender and the Bronco TRX4Ms. It comes with everything you need to install it using the Traxxas ESC. Everything is plug and play. It even has a splitter. If you're already using 2 of the light ports, you can split and share a single port. You do have to drill some holes in the body. My body reamer available in my Etsy shop will do the job. Otherwise, it's a drop-in fit and very, very, very bright. I also got a light set for my Traxxas utility trailer, as well as the side slats and spare tires. I think it looks pretty cool. I also added some brass steering knuckles, and I've previously updated my steering servo to a Reefs 55 micro servo. It's also programmable, lots of tuning you can do there. I'm really happy with it. So after all that, would I recommend upgrading to the new power system for $119.95? I thought there was a substantial increase in our performance. I really love the low end control. For me, crawling is all about going really slow, trying to get the rig to look as realistic as possible. It's really nice having that wider range, and it also has that punch and speed if you want it. Another cool thing is that it is virtually silent. It is a very quiet motor system. With a brush setup, sometimes you get a little bit of motor whine. This one, really quiet. The caveat though that I mentioned earlier in the video, the motor gets very hot, like too hot to the touch where I almost burned my hand. After going on the bridge feature, doing the climb with a lot of torque, and using the drag brake on the descents, I touched the motor afterwards, it almost burned my hand. So slightly concerned about the longevity of this motor system if it's constantly heating up to an untouchable temperature, something we will definitely keep an eye on. Better performance, more precision control on the low end, slower speeds, faster speeds, more punch, virtually quiet motor. I think it will add a lot of fun to your crawling experience. Huge thank you to my patrons on Patreon for helping to make this video possible, to Traxxas for sending out a truck to feature on my channel. If you're in the Los Angeles area, would love to see you at Mount Baldy at my crawl event on November 23rd with Reckless RC Crew and powered by Traxxas. I'll put links to all the products featured here, as well as a link to the Facebook event page and a place where you can donate to the Childhood Cancer Foundation. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you later.